I'm Chey, and if you watch me for longer than 5 minutes, it's obvious I have ADHD. Today we're going to be talking through 6 strategies I use to help with my ADHD that helps making my life and navigating the challenges it presents just a little bit easier. Now, I am not a mental health professional, obviously. These are just strategies that I found that help me personally. They will not apply to everyone with every single circumstance in every single situation. Take what you can from it, use what you can from it. I hope some of it is helpful. Let's get into it. The first strategy that we're actually going to be talking about branches in to the other 5. I think it's an essential part of helping make the other 5 even easier, and that is breaking things down into steps. This works for things that you haven't even started yet or are in the middle of. Now, this might seem painfully obvious to a lot of people, like when you approach anything that you want to do, especially something you've never done before or something that seems daunting, you want to break it down into steps. Well, personally with me, something I found is that a lot of things can seem daunting or feel daunting that shouldn't be daunting. There are things that I'm like, why haven't I done this thing already? Like, it's seemingly so simple. Like, anyone could do this. Why can't I just go ahead and write that email? Why can't I go ahead and film that video? Why can't I go ahead and post this or that? But a lot of the issue comes from being stuck on initiating the task to begin with, to starting it. Whenever I start to feel resistance to doing something or stuck in waiting mode, I ask myself to break it down into steps to really put it in perspective of, okay, where am I getting stuck at? What does this require? What am I lacking? Why do I not feel prepared or ready or able to do this said thing? Such as, if I haven't written an email yet, it's probably because I don't feel I have the proper information to fully answer it, and so my brain just says, nope, we're not gonna do it whatsoever, because you're not fully prepared for it, you're not ready for it, just shut the whole operation down. When I start breaking things down into steps, I am not afraid to break them down into the tiniest, teeniest, bite-sized task that there are. So even on an email, breaking things down in the email into steps, writing the intro, hello, that's a step. And writing the conclusion, that's also a step. Once I start doing that, I find that it's a little less daunting, it's a little easier to initiate, because looking at it in that sort of perspective, I can do more than I originally thought I could. I can at least get started, and it shows me, okay, it's not as big a monster as I thought it was going to be. Branching off from that, we come to my second strategy, which is everything somewhere all at once. Brain dumping, essentially, but brain dumping with a purpose. Now, if you don't know what brain dumping is, it's essentially what's in the name. You go to every thought you have in your head about everything that you need to do, and you just dump it all out. You list it all out. Just a giant to-do list. Every little thing that's been bothering you, every little thing that you've been meaning to do for months, or you just need to get done today, you just list it all out so that you have a physical copy that you can see. It can be on your phone, it can be on a napkin, anywhere you want to brain dump. Now, brain dumping might sound easy, but the catch is staying organized with it. The temptation is to have a different list every single time that you need to brain dump, but then you have several lists lying around, and goodness forbid you forget where one of them went, or you just have 10 different lists lying around and you're like, wait, which one is the more current one that has all the things that I need to do? My strategy is keeping it a master brain dump list, somewhere that is easily accessible, where I can get to it, I can look at it anytime, check things off, or add things if need be. For me, that's on my phone, on my home screen, in a note called Life Admin. It's right there, it's staring me in the face, I couldn't miss it if I tried. Mainly because I accidentally click on it a lot whenever I get a notification at the top of my screen. Another way I organize these sort of brain dumps into day-by-day increments is using my bullet journal. Now, I don't keep a nice, clean, aesthetic bullet journal like a lot of people. Mine literally is just functional, made to function, made to work, made to get things out of my head and keep me accountable. But it is sort of the Wild West in there. It's just something that I'm able to look at in the morning or in the evening and write down, okay, this thing I gotta do tomorrow, or this thing I want to get done today. I mentioned earlier that a lot of these tasks are often spinning around in our head constantly of like, oh, I meant to go buy that pack of sugar from the grocery store. Oh, I meant to go do this. I meant to go do that. And that is where having a central location for that task and a brain dump comes in handy. But what about things like appointments? What about things like meetings that you have to go to that may just slip your mind? I find that repetition is the best strategy for me. Not only do I include it in my brain dump, not only do I include it in my bullet journal, I have 2 other planners where I write it down. One that I keep on me at all times. Now, this isn't a foolproof plan, either. But I found it certainly helps, because whenever someone asks me, oh, do you have plans today? I remind myself that I have a ridiculous amount of planners that can tell me yes or no to that question. As the effort of writing down in these places is enough to be like, this is stupidly ridiculous. It's that effort that reminds me that they exist. So, it's not stupid if it works. We come to our third strategy, bundling tasks, or as I affectionately call it, might as well. And yes, it is exactly what it sounds like. For me, when it comes to concrete tasks like cleaning up my room, making my bed, doing laundry, doing dishes, it may be hard to initiate to start the task because I feel like there's an obstacle in the way, but after I break down those steps and I get started on step one, whatever step I find the easiest or most doable, starting with that momentum, it's easier to keep that momentum going by then bundling that task, no matter how ridiculous they seem in conjunction with each other. For instance, dirty coffee mug in my room. Pick up the cup, stand up from the bed. Step 1. I'm able to do that. Let's do that. Step 2. Walk to the kitchen. Can do that. Then when I actually get to the kitchen sink and I start washing out my coffee mug, I notice there are several other dirty dishes lying in the sink. Might as well clean them while I'm here. I've already got it started. Might as well do it. Then, as I'm cleaning those dishes, I notice the dish drainer's getting a little full, that a few of the bowls can be put up, a few of the mugs can be put up. Might as well do that. It makes sense in my brain after I start that it's a sequence of, well, I'm already here, let's do that. Now this is the next task, let's do that. And then suddenly, when I just came into the kitchen to wash my mug to do one task, suddenly I've done 4 or 5. It helps me get a lot more done than I expected. For another real life example that just happened a few minutes ago, I had to unplug something to plug up my ring light. Well, while I'm here, I might as well just roll up the charger, put it and clean it away, put it in my drawer. Oh, also, there's some other things that go in that drawer that have been bothering me sitting on my nightstand for about a week now. But the drawer's open, so might as well put them away. Also, drawer's kind of messy. I should rearrange this to, like, fit better. So, put that back in there. And then, oh, wait, my headphones need charging, and now I have an extra space on my wall outlet thing, so plug them up, let them charge while I'm filming this video. See? For me, this is a great way to get those annoying little tasks that have been bugging me for weeks done and out of my brain. Those little tasks that make you be like, that took 30 seconds. Why didn't I do that earlier? Our fourth strategy is doing things immediately. This comes from being raised by my ADHD mother, who found her own strategies to cope when she was growing up before she even knew that she had ADHD. This strategy works on the same kind of principle that bundling task does, where it plays on the momentum part. The key is to not let myself get stuck in a sort of transitive transition state where I then have to restart my momentum. I then have to restart an initiation of a task. The easiest example I can think of for this, wow, that wind is very loud outside. We've had the storms the past 2 days. Anyway, the easiest example I can think of for this that has been ingrained into my brain, in the membrane, as soon as I get done eating, take my dishes into the kitchen. Now, that may not be washing them, but as soon as I'm done eating, don't even just set the dish aside. Get up, take it to the kitchen. As soon as I'm done with something, put it down in the place where it belongs. That I don't follow quite as well, but the dishes aspect, I do. The fifth strategy is unconventional placement. I don't know about you, but if I don't see something constantly, I mean, even if I do sometimes, it does not exist to my brain. Even the most basic things, if there are too many steps for me to get to it, or to see it, or to realize its existence, I often don't do it, or I forget about it. Unconventional placement seeks to correct that. A hamper may belong in the laundry room, but to avoid piles of laundry in your room, you can set the hamper right in the middle of your room, if you need to, wherever works for you. You're allowed to do that. Just because something is normally done in a normal way, if it's not working that way for you, do it a different way. Make it unconventional, because it'll become conventional for you, even if it's not for anybody else. If you find that your bedroom table your nightstand is cluttering with trash because your one trash can is all the way on the other side of your room, get 2 trash cans. Get 2 trash cans. No one's gonna tell you you can't, I promise. No one is gonna come for you, no one's gonna sue you, no one's gonna arrest you. 2 trash cans. One beside your bed, one wherever else in your room. You can have more than one. Another example of unconventional placement is what I do with my medication. I obviously don't want to forget to take it, so what do? Do I put it in the medicine cabinet where I will forget it exists? No. Do I set it out on the bathroom counter? No. I set it on top of the microwave in the kitchen, because I know the one thing I'm going to do every morning is go make my top of the morning coffee with the coffee machine sitting on top of the microwave. And if it's sitting right there in my way, I'm going to notice it, because nothing is going to stop me from getting to that coffee. And then I'm going to be able to do it immediately, bundle task, all because it's sitting right there. It may be unconventional, but it works. And if it works, it ain't stupid. Lastly, and this is more of a general rule as well as a strategy, but this one's probably my favorite. Something is better than nothing. Persistency over consistency. Consistency is doing the same thing the same way every single time with like the same results. But persistency is more important because we're not always going to have perfect days. We're not always going to achieve or do the task that we want. We can only do our best every single day, and every single day what our best is changes. Our health changes, our financial situations change, we have family drama, we have friend drama. Our best changes every single day, so your capacity to do your best is also going to change. This strategy is to give yourself grace and to be more realistic about those things that will come up and sometimes impede the progress that you want to make. As long as you're finding or trying new ways, it's okay to fail, but as long as you're continuing to try to achieve that or to finish that, matters more than getting the same result every single time. Some days you may accomplish nothing, and that's absolutely fine too, but me personally, with my ADHD, I have a heavy dose of perfectionism. If I can't get it all done the way that I want to, I don't want to do it, because what's the point? But that is so far from the truth. If you can't do all of it, even something is better than nothing. Maybe I can put all of my laundry away, but I don't have the energy or I don't have the time to put all my books back on the shelf or make my bed. That's okay. I still got one task done. That's still worth celebrating. That's still something that I don't have to do later. It's still something that got done. You're not worth less because you do less. Sometimes that's just the way life is. There are going to be good days, there are going to be bad days, there are going to be best days. None of those, though, should dictate how you look at any other day, because every day is so different. Like I said, these strategies aren't going to work for everyone, but they are what works for me personally. If you have any strategies that you would like to share, put them down in the comments below. Let's help each other out. That's going to be it for me, though. Thank y'all for watching. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Stick around for more chaos, actual chaos. If you're not new to the channel, welcome back. Good to see ya. How's the fam? How are you? Hope you're well. Regardless, though, if you haven't heard it from anyone else today, I love you. Love and peace.